and God's blessings. I am so glad that this video is coming your way. Please just spare me a few of your time. Let me quickly introduce myself in case you are meeting me for the first time. I am Reverend Mrs. Jacs. By the grace of God, I'm the founder of STARGRACE Missions International, a non-denominational ministry that reaches out to young people, to women, and to families. Now, there are several things that we do in this assignment. We go to schools to reach out to young people. We call it the School Outreach Program. We go to school to reach out to young people. In 2001, I got a command from God to go into the schools and to talk to young people about the discovery of purpose. And I started doing that. And bless God, there was great impact. But, I thought that was all. In 2013, there was another a specific instruction that came from God, and that was to reach out to young people, to women, to families, in fact, to everyone at large, about sexual purity. That time I was a bit worried. I was like, my God, sexual purity in school. I understand, sex education and all that, but in this case, we're talking about sexual purity. Of course, it's not all of them that are, it really might not really be necessary. But of course, in obedience to the command, we started preaching sexual purity. We started talking about sexual purity, in the schools. And to my greatest surprise, honestly speaking, a lot of issues are happening, in homes, in schools, in several places, whatever you can think of, even as bad as even in some churches, where you find young people being raped, you find them being abused, even to adults, both male and female. Now, by the time we were doing this, going out to the schools, going out to churches, going out to different places, even to communities, to reach out on this issue of sexual purity, we started discovering a lot. And so we had to come up with a project called Rescue. And that was the birth of the NGO of STARGRACE, which is called Caris Charity Care Foundation. Now, this foundation, which is the NGO, has several, projects. We have several assignments in our hands. We rescue people that are experiencing domestic violence and sexual abuse. And by God's grace, we have been able to rescue several of them. We're especially young ones that are going through sexual abuse. Let me just share, I will just share just two of the cases very fast. One that we met, she was very, a young girl. She was she was at the age of 13. That was when we got to her school. She was 13. So the first time she heard about sexual purity, being pure sexually and all that, and she was bothered. Her mood changed. Of course, we had a time and we counseled, we did all we needed to do, and we left the school, and we kept going back. By the grace of God, later on, this girl was, her heart was strong enough to open up. And then she came out to talk, and she opened up to the fact that her father had been sleeping with her since she was 13. Now, by the time this girl was opening up, while we have done there severally, she could now trust us. She could feel that, yes, I think I am in safe hands. Let me speak out. Because her father would always threaten her, the people she had opened up to never, believed her. All of them would always tell her, you better shut up your mouth. Where can that be heard of? What sort of nonsense is that? Do you want to put your father into trouble? So she had to just keep quiet. When she said she just had to keep quiet. Now, to God's glory, we're able to help this young girl, and today she's better off. We of course had to go for her rescue. We had to help her to get her out of that mess. Her father had been sleeping with her. It had gotten to a level she started using pills, and according to her father told her severally, what your mother cannot do for me, you will do, because her mom died while she was young, that what your mom cannot do, you will do. And we're wondering what exactly has she not done. She has given birth for a child. A child for you. So what else? But then we thank God that God helped us to be able to rescue this young girl. Another one, this very beautiful, very intelligent girl. This girl she got into a new church with her family, and she was 8 at that time. When they got to the church, they started, and she was committed because she's very talented, gifted in singing. So this girl joined the choir, and she kept singing. Eventually, later on, that our pastor, would take her out for ministration according to her. The pastor would take her for ministration, and that was what the things the parent really believed, because she will come to request for, the parent releasing this girl, so this girl would go with him for ministrations. Of course, the pastor started sleeping with this young girl. At the age of 8, we met this girl. We met her when she was 15. So she eventually opened up, and then she said to the fact that her pastor had been sleeping with her since she was 8. And of course, we had to take her up, and then went through the process of rescue again. And by the grace of God, the case is still in court. But girl has been, now she has her freedom from that molestation, from that abuse, regular abuse. It was almost a daily thing, because the pastor is so close to the family that, the parents they could not just believe. Even when the girl told the parent, they did not believe, because they trusted their pastor. But their pastor had been destroying their daughter all the while. There are many others. Because of my time, I will not share more issues. But then, I am coming with this video to you today. Why? Because we need support. We have been doing this work. We know that we are stepping out in the next, session that we are entering into, and we will be going out more into schools. And we believe, God, that as many that are in bondages will be delivered, they will be set free. God will help families, will help marriages, will help homes through us, through the work. And we know of a surety that the foundation, which is the NGO, Caris Charity Care Foundation, will have a whole lot to do again, because there are many other things that we do apart from the rescue project. Now, there are a lot of things that I believe strongly that you can do also with us to impact lives, to help those that are in need. I'm telling you, there are some people, and I'm talking to you, that are going through this same issue of abuse. Some that cannot speak up, and they need help, because God is hearing their cries. God wants to send help to them, and we are ready as vessels to be the help to them. And I know that you can also be one. Now, if you don't have the time, I know, I do understand that your job might not give you the time to go out with us for the outreach or for the rescue project, but then you can be a sponsor. You can be a support partner to this assignment. We are believing God to be able to have our home. We really need to have a home for these young ones. Why? Because several of those that we have rescued so far, because we don't have a home where we can put them, where we can keep them, we have to take them back. By the time we help them and all that, they have to go back to their families, and a lot of them are going through emotional trauma, because a lot of these families really don't know how to manage the situation, how to help these kids. Rather, a lot of them now, even make them to feel worse. In fact, there is one that is, it's so painful, because I can still remember categorically these young girls. There are 3 of them, 3 girls from a family. The kids were 4. We had to rescue them from domestic violence. They've been going through domestic violence from their father and their stepmother, and we went for their rescue. We were able to rescue them. Now, because we did not have a home where we could put them, when the government, when they were handed over to us, we did not have a home to shelter them. We had to, talk to them. Eventually, we released these children to the family members of their mother. because their mother isn't in the country. So we release these kids. Eventually, we had to release these children for their grandmother and the mother's family. And to our greatest surprise, the girls, the children that have been growing in the things of God, the children that, have been, gradually they were changing. There were a lot of changes in their lives. They were already getting more, more serious with their education, wanting to know God. They went for camp meetings. They were already praying. They were already growing on how to study their Bible and all that. But when their grandma actually came, she made it clear to us that she is an idol worshiper, and then that is who she is. And of course, we're like, well, that is your God, but then we have who we serve as well. Now, because we did not have the home to keep these children, we had to release those children eventually to the family members. And as I'm talking to you presently, right now as I'm talking to you, the children ran out. There was a particular time the message got, to us. Those children ran out of, their grandma had to chase them out of our house because they were not ready to go into prostitution, which was their family business, so to speak. They were not ready to go into prostitution, and she chased them out of our house. But because of the pressure, because of where to live, what to eat, these children had to go back. Now those kids are into prostitution. Oh my God, they are into. I'm talking about a girl of 15, of 10, girl, and the other one is, she clocked 18 this year. Very painful, very, very painful. These kids are, you would see, in fact, it was they themselves, because we know obviously that there were spiritual forces raised against them for them to just get back to the family idol, which was prostitution and all, the idol worship and all that. But we had actually have enough support, if we had actually have enough hands, enough, sponsor by God's grace, we would have been able to keep these children, and they wouldn't have gone back to they wouldn't have gone to their mother's family. Rather, we would have taken good care of them just as they were handed over. But we're calling out for sponsors. We're calling out for people whose heart are after God, people that love kids, people that love women to be in safety, because this is not just for young people. Like I said, it's a ministry for young people and for women, and our foundation is also reaching out to that, and we are trusting God to be able to get our home in shape, to have this home this year by the grace of God. Because as we're going out into the next session, into schools, we know that there are a lot of issues, there are a lot of people that God is setting aside for us to go and rescue, that their cry has been going to Him for help, and is sending us as a help in the time of need to those children, to those women, because a lot of them that we also meet while we are doing, because another session that we do is for the parents and also for the teachers, and so through that we meet a lot of them also, that are a lot of adults that are also going through the same. So if you have been blessed of God, if God has opened your heart, you have a passion to help people, this is a good ground for you. Your seed will go a long way. Connecting us, even if you don't have it, you can connect us to those that you know that are ready to help people, to be a blessing, to make a great difference in our world, to help, to change lives, to help families, and to help homes. That is our strong passion. Please join us on this move. Join us to journey together to help people and to establish the counsel of God in the lives of people, in families, and in homes. Please, if you would love to do that, you can reach out to us on this number 08082757070. You can reach us through WhatsApp. It's that same number is on WhatsApp. You can reach out to us through that number, and then we'll be able to let you know how well you can be able to be a part of this work, to join us, whether as a volunteer, as a sponsor, as a partner. Please, whatever way, we are believing you to be someone that God will use to help lives, and to change destiny. God bless you for your time. Thank you so much for giving us this time to listen to this great vision that God has committed into our hands and that He is calling you to be a part of. God bless you. We'll be waiting to hear from you. Give us a call, WhatsApp message, WhatsApp number, and let us work together in partnership to help people. And if you can't reach out to us with a call, you can get through to the person that sent you this video. I am too sure that person also will help you to contact us. Once again, I am Reverend Mrs. Jacs. God bless you. God strengthens you. May you live to fulfill the purpose for which you are created. Thank you so much. God bless you.